anything from the fact that it was kind of a one-sided blowout?
Well, it was a 3-game series, and Blue had won the series by 10 points and 12 points, and so yeah, I just we can't, with Alex and Solo on that Blue team, they could lose. You just don't want to. You can't lose with two vets like that, but. I just think it was all good, really good work for us. And then to be able to, play some simulated 10-minute, game-like quarters, get these guys out in front of some people with some, a little bit of like the nervous energy because people are watching. I think it was just really, really good thing that we did this summer, the way we structured our weeks.
Coach, do you feel like you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish this summer?
I did. I think getting, just being able to get Furf and Big Eric, I think, having missed summer one, Eric having a little bit of the foot in the beginning of summer two, but to be able to get, Big Eric, like 2 weeks of good work like that, and just to see some of the things that he could do, especially offensively with his size. Like just seeing the way, the way Jay Stu looked, the way Jay Ross looked, out there, the way Silas is, has gotten better with each one of these outings throughout the summer. I think we're gonna have I know for me, when I go and take, a little 10-day break before the guys come back, I'm gonna have a better time at the Jersey Shore. Just feeling better about the team, Brilen, it's hard not to feel, good about the team when you just, you see how the centers look, what you got at point guard, what you got on the wing, what Alex and Stu and those guys look like. You feel better.
Brilen. Thanks, Tom.
I'm gonna leave it up to you guys.
Brilen, clearly the kid can shoot, but he just seems to fit in so fluidly with a lot that you guys are trying to do out there. What are your impressions of him and what kind of transition he'll have into this level of the game?
Brilen knows how to play. It was kind of like a, in some, like a setting like maybe the McDonald's game. It's it probably works to his disadvantage because in a game like that, he's not just out there, looking for his or what have you. Like the guy could pass, and and he knows how to move without the ball, and he could guard. I think he, I think it's he's got a maturity about him, and we've got to get him ready for November. Obviously, and we've had this conversation with him. He's going to be. People are dying to see him play. I mean, in terms of the freshman class, he's a really exciting player. There's a lot of anticipation for what he's going to look like this winter. And I think, we just have to prepare him mentally, for the high expectations and the high anticipation, and just get him ready for all that so he can handle it and go out and perform like you've seen he can perform.
Coach, what's the dynamic like coaching with two brothers? Does one making it better?
The Ross brothers, JR2 and Jay Ross, yeah. They're, first of all, it's an awesome family, and get well soon to Jackie Ross, who's, recovering, from some surgery, and she's doing great though. So get well soon, Jackie. And they're just like everything you'd want in people in your program, culture-wise, talent-wise. You could, I think you saw all the things that Jay Ross could bring to the table today, minus minus making threes, but he literally did everything else on the court. And I think his brother is a very similar prospect, and they're just like couldn't ask for more than what they bring to you on a daily basis with how hard they work. And then they're just total soldiers, just soldiers.
Do you identify with Jacob a little bit because you were the kid brother?
Yeah, younger brother, different personalities. Yeah, I mean, the younger brother tends to be probably more, just like more of an asshole, and that's how I was and am, and I think he is too, in a good way.
What do you like about Eric's offensive game?
Eric is skilled as hell. I mean, and I think that's part of. I mean, he could face up and drive it. He could make threes, and he's got a low post game. I think. It's getting that total buy-in from Eric that like we've got to build. You've got to become dominant for us, like as a rim protector, as a ball screen defender, as a low post defender. You got to become dominant as a guy that's going to finish with great efficiency around the basket, and then what you do those things for us, you're going to be able to play out behind the line. But at that position, we're going to get that motor and that defensive mindset, that warrior mentality, because I don't think there's a lot of freshmen that come into college with his offensive skill set.
Does it help him every day to play against Terrace? Is that going to develop that?
Yeah, I mean, it helps. I mean, he's going through what Donovan went through with Adama. Donovan got his ass kicked a lot that summer, and then he started having days. Adama was pretty relentless and ruthless. So that is what got Donovan ready for the type of freshman year he had, and I think Terrace is doing the same thing for Eric, because Terrace could be one of the 2 or 3 best big guys in the country, based on his talent, and so that's what Eric's got to deal with every day.
Obviously, Jaylen was a lot better today than last time we saw him a couple of weeks ago. Is it safe to say that, I know it's August, that he's in a real battle at the wing for minutes and potential starting spot?
Yeah. I think in our mind right now, it's like when you're coming off the year that we had. I don't think, or again at UConn, we're not obviously not patting ourselves on the back, by not winning either the regular season or the Big East tournament, or by not making it out of the first weekend of the tournament. So you're not. I don't think that anyone that was a part of that feels too secure in their job. So I would say across the board, in our mind, we have a lot of offensive weapons. We feel like we're too deep in a lot of positions, and a lot of the starting is going to come down to who can help us get our defense fixed. We had issues offensively last year in different areas where we were not a well-rounded offense, but we were still a top 15 offense with no running game. So we're going to be a top offensive team, I think, regardless of who plays. But who's going to get us back to a top 10 defense?
How about
and Jaylen's physically strong and he's tall, and I don't think that I don't think there's a lot of guarantees for anyone. Obviously Alex probably feels you got to earn your spot.
I was going to ask you about that Caravan kid.
Yeah.
Any good?
Alex looks great. I mean, Alex. I think he's coming into the season under the radar, and I think that he'll respond better, I think, mentally to that. And I think, what he went through last year, just the season, I think, has just, mentally prepared him. There's a mental toughness that you develop when you go through a year like we had as a team, and the stretch that he went through, that's made him a lot tougher. And his game is sharper. I think he's addressed areas, like when you're, the year before, it's like you're doing a lot of celebrating, and he was deep into the pre-draft process, and he didn't have as much time to like work on things, and I think get back in the gym and put in the work on his body, and I think he looks a lot different.
Jaylen has showed flashes over the last couple of years, but what does it take to fully unlock him?
Well, I think, Jalen's put down the headset and the controller and screen sucking his phone, and he's in the gym at the rate that you need to be in the gym at, instead of being a gamer or an influencer. He wants to be a baller, and he's like in the gym like Alex. He's on a similar schedule to Alex, and you could see it with the sharpness of his game today, and he's in a different maturity. He's ready to take the next step in his career, and yeah.
Is he a guy that could benefit from being more off script, or does he fit well?
Yeah, I mean, listen, for Jaylen, it's like he's a versatile piece. I mean, you could start him at anywhere on the 2 or 3 spots on the perimeter, with the right handler. I mean, basketball's become pretty positionless. He just gives you a lot of options, and if he defends, if he could really now offensively, he's taking the next step because his game is sharp. But if we just get him now to make a similar defensive commitment, and it's going to be hard to keep a guy with his size and athleticism and offensive talent off the court.
I think he might have been the first guy to announce he was returning after last season. But did you have to talk to him a little bit about that? I mean, was that a tough?
Jalen's a UConn guy. I mean, a lot of stuff swirls around the kids here. He there's a lot of stuff that swirls around him. But he's just a UConn guy through and through. He is. I say this a lot about our players. He's like one of the best guys, human beings you'll ever be around. Like a total loyalty guy, and yeah. I mean, there was no hard line negotiating with the. He loves UConn. He loves the program. He loves Connecticut. He loves Stores. He loves being a Husky. And I think he's got self-awareness. Like, he knows that there were things that he needed to do, that it wasn't necessarily us holding him back, but more things that he needed to do, which he's addressed, and now he looks like a different guy.
Is Terrace being a number 2 or 3 center in the country predicated just on that intensity level being more consistent? And have you seen that at all?
Yeah, I mean, he can't show the flashes of lack of discipline with, as a shot blocker, you got to have timing, and you have to be like the second player to leave the floor. And he never has to be the first person to leave the floor. He's such a quick jumper. And again, we measured him out at 6'10 and a half, 268, and he looks like he could weigh 220. And he moves, better than most guards, laterally, running, vertical athleticism, off the board. He checks every box. I think with him, it's motor, it's intensity, it's warrior mentality, it's discipline. It's losing your technique and fundamentals at times. It's just, if this guy puts it all together, he's as good a center as there is in the country. But, he's got to, for the first time in his career, we've got to help him put it all together.
We've had a lot of guys come in and play big roles as a freshman. A few of them have banners up there, obviously.
Yeah.
So what does that take? Like, I asked this with Brilen in mind. No matter the level of talent you possess, what does it take to come in and truly show what you're all about at that young of an age in the Big East nationally?
Yeah, I think Brilen is similar to Steph and Donovan and Alex and Liam, the people that have really come in and been awesome their freshman year, where it's like, just the good people around them, it's not a shit show with the circus of, people focused on mock drafts and, all the stuff that, he's got people around him that just want him to work hard, get better, coach my son hard, no entitled, spoiled shit. So it's that's like the common denominator, a maturity, and the people around them aren't poisoning the kids. So like you're getting the same message that we have, myself, Luke, Kamani, Mike Nardi, with the player, it's being echoed by the family. It's not like a counter message. And then the other part of it is like he gets this year, like he's going to play with experienced players. He's going to be insulated by an older, more mature, more well-rounded group than Liam.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not to like knock last year's team. It's just Brilen's going to be surrounded by, I think, you know, more maturity, more seasoned players, just a better, well-rounded cast. So that's good for Eric. It's good for Brilen. It's good for Firth.
For Terrace, you said you guys need to help him. You tried last year, you know, with the Kodiak Bear. Is it something now where you show him pictures of or video of Adama in practice, games, and then maybe some of his flashes where he did look really good?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
noticed the first practice, he looked really aggressive at times.
Yeah.
And then even today, he was pretty dominant out there.
I mean, you know, like, listen, at times it was you know, last year, I would say if you asked him in December if he thought we believed in him, the coaches, he probably would have told you guys, you know, if you put lie detector test, no, because like we were on him, you know, because, you know, like the mistakes that centers make lead to exposing the rim on defense. You know, to getting scored on at the rim or putting you in, you know, it's like some of the fundamental technique things that you have to master, the communication as a center, being a great screener on offense, like doing hard things well. It's not exciting stuff, but those are the part of your position as a center. Like you've got to be a great screener. You've got to guard screens well. You've got to hit people first when shots go up. You've got to understand how to like post up big and small, like low and big to present a big I mean, it's stuff that's not very fun to master that you've got to master or else you're not a good big guy. So, but we've spent a lot of time with Terrace, and Terrace is he's worked his ass off, and I think that we believe that we've bet heavy that he's going to have a dominant year.
Once the lob passes are back, Silas, I mean, looks like he's doing exactly what you wanted.
Yeah.
In terms of looking to score, is that part of his game that still dominant?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Silas that was most appealing was the Tristan qualities, the two-way player. Like he's going to help fortify our defense because he's competitive and he's 6'3.5", 6'4", and he's physically strong and he's a veteran. And, he's going to be in those positions a lot with the way we play offense and his own ability to get in the paint. Where he's just right now the decision-making of when I get to the logo, do I attack the rim? Do I throw the lob? Do I spray it to our, we've got big-time shooting out there. So he's going to have a lot of space and options. And right now he's just going through the process of decision-making.
Jay Ross one more confident. He looks like he's just moving a little better out there with a purpose.
Yeah, he's stronger. I think he's put on muscle, and and he's older. And I'm going back through and watching the season. I mean, he helped us in, at Georgetown. He played great. At Marquette, he's a big reason why we won that game. His defense of work that he did in those games. So he had his moments last year, and I thought he had some really bad luck. He had some threes that rimmed out, that if they go in, it gets his confidence to a different level. He's going to do it.
Coach, how's Malachi's injury recovery going? I saw no knee brace today.
Yeah, he feels good. I think he's he's a critical piece for us this year. I think he's going to give us a different look. He's going to give us more pace. He's going to give us a different look in terms of being able to pressure people and put him on the court with athletes where we could pick up and pressure and change the speed and pace of the game and the tempo. So we're excited to put him in those positions and he's got some pop. He's got some swagger. He's got some confidence. And he won't let me forget about the Dayton game. Yeah, I just, you know, he just won't let me forget about the Dayton.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Dan.